birds and their habitat. Right here we have a partnership with the Irvine Ranch Water District, which owns this property. It's been open to the public for the last 25 years. All kinds of educational programs and conservation programs that are open to the public that people like you can get involved in. This sanctuary is 300 acres, fresh water, one of the last remaining sites in Orange County, and very important for migrating birds as a place to eat, to feed, to rest, protected. So you think about the white pelican, which is a migratory bird. It is breeding in the west, in places like Idaho and Utah, and then coming to our beautiful coastline for the winter. Places like here at the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary and further south in Mexico. There's researchers who have put tags on the wings of these birds to monitor where exactly they're going. And if you go online to the Utah Division of Natural Resources, they've actually put radio GPS transmitters on the backs of 28 birds, and you can see exactly where these birds are. And most of them this winter, they're along the coastline of Mexico. We're very fortunate here at the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary to have this place available to the public free of charge. You can come and you can see these beautiful white pelicans, sometimes as many as 300 in winter. So about 2 months ago, one of our board members and naturalist, Andrine Bizot, right here, noticed that one of the birds was in trouble. So I'm going to turn it over for the rest of the story.
Hi, well, thank you all for being here. My name's Julie. I'm with International Bird Rescue. Basically, this was a huge collaborative effort, and it's one of my favorite stories because thankfully to the people who spotted the bird, obviously capturing a bird in this type of environment would be really challenging. He was fully flighted. So luckily, he actually ended up in somebody's front yard, and they were able to call Newport Beach Police Department, and they were able to respond and rescue this bird and thankfully take it right over to Wetlands and Wildlife Care Center in Huntington Beach, where it received immediate stabilizing care, which is really important because a bird like this, when they end up disoriented in somebody's front yard, they're not doing very well. So he was able to receive that life-saving support at Wetlands and Wildlife. They were able to transfer him to us, where our veterinarian was able to do some amazing work, and from his beak she'll speak a little bit about that before we send him off. And it's been 2 months in the work. He's almost doubled his weight, and like I said, we're happy to be here. A case like this, you know, we're suspecting that fishing line contributed, fishing hook that came out of his foot contributed to his beak being fractured. It's one of those heartbreaking cases where if he wasn't getting the care that he got and the rescue that he got, he would have suffered a slow, painful death over time. So we were really lucky to be able to intervene and to be able to help this bird out. To talk about what exactly we did to be able to get him back to release shape.
So this guy had a fracture where his mandible, they have this really cool, really springy lower jaw. So it's two curved bones that come together, and they're very flexible. So it's kind of like a baleen whale when they're feeding, their mouth like opens up. So it's very springy. So when the bird had the left side of the mandible broken, it was caved in like this, and the springy right one was bending it over to the side. So when I first saw that picture, I thought there was a piece of his bill missing from the photo that Sandrine took, but it wasn't. It was just caved in on itself. So we found out that he had a longitudinal fracture down the long way in the bone and kind of a transverse fracture. But he's lucky in that he was a youngster, probably last year's chick, and his bill wasn't fully calcified yet, so it didn't become an open fracture. It was more like a crease that was caved in. So what I ended up doing was placing some pins to put it in perfect alignment, and then we kept him pinned for a month or so to get that jaw long enough to heal, and took pins out. Hoped it would be great, and it was, thankfully. So, I'm always nervous about these things out here. Especially if I've never pinned a white pelican before. So anyway, it feels great, and he's been a trooper through this, and we're just overjoyed that he actually is making it to release today. So thank you for coming.
And it's pretty special for us to be able to release him back to where he came from. So that's why we're venturing all the way from San Pedro to bring him back into his home.
Be careful, don't fall in.
That's good. It's ready.
I'm right there. I just wanted you to know I was here. I didn't want you to bring more. But
Okay, is everybody ready?
Ready.
no, you're fine. I just didn't like I said, like, when you came out, a little more.
So cute.
But I like it here. I'm not leaving. Yes.
You want to get closer?
And you could kind of step forward a little bit and get him.
Gotten used to people.
That would be a nice memento to take with you.
Katrina needs to back up. Give him a lot of space. There you go. He's okay now.
Sorry.
Wild animal.
Getting ready.
You'll have friends out there.
Yeah, but I get,
Oh, they already left.
but I get free food here.
Yeah, then yeah.
He's not going to leave a free lunch.
Come on, buddy. Go for it. You'll be okay.
He doesn't like me.